Liverpool will have huge task when they will visit Italy to face Atalanta in the return leg in the Europa quarterfinals. This is after they lost 3-0 at home against Atalanta. Liverpool dominated the game from the start to the end, but they were unable to break down the defensive lineup or the defensive setup of Atalanta, and they lost the game by conceding 3 goals to nil. I was a bit surprised by the lineup selection by manager Jurgen Klopp, as Mo Salah was arrested, and also Luis Diaz was also arrested, and Curtis Jones came in for Dominic Soboslai, and also Salah was arrested for Harvey Elliott. So I was a bit surprised. I was thinking maybe he'll go with a strong team in the first half and kill the game early, then rest his top players, because I know he is also focusing in the league, which he is facing Crystal Palace at home. On Sunday in the Premier League in a crunch and an important also game for them, as they are looking to win yet another Premier League title. But his game plan and his tactics didn't work for him in this game, as Atalanta managed to score the first goal through Askamasa, who scored in the 38th minute, and Liverpool were trailing by the end of first half. In the second half, he made changes. Mohamed Salah came in, and also Dominic Soboslai came in at the start of the first half, but it was still Atalanta who managed to score the second goal through again as Kamasa, who scored the second goal and the second goal for Atalanta. It went on. Liverpool tried to score the first goal. They scored a goal, but it was ruled out by the VAR, and they went on. They managed to. They were traveling to score the second goal, but they were unable to break down the defensive partnership or the defensive lineup of Atalanta. And it was yet again Atalanta who scored the third goal through Mario Pasalic, who scored Atalanta's third goal. And that meant that was it for Liverpool, as they were unable to have a consolation goal. That means they will be heading to Italy next week on Thursday with a 3-0 deficit, and it's going to be a tough game for them, as they'll be looking to score 4 goals without a reply from Atalanta for them to qualify the next round of the Europa League, that is the semi-finals. So I think it's a bit of a disappointment game for Liverpool fans and the Liverpool manager. This is what they were expecting. They were not expecting this to happen, and also most of the fans, including me, I was not expecting this to happen, because I think and I understand that Liverpool were a stronger team, and I was expecting a bit of stronger lineup in the first half, and maybe made some changes in the second half. But that wasn't the case, as Klopp went ahead and straight and made some changes. I think it's understandable he needs to make changes, because the fatigue and maybe players were getting tired. His star players needs to be rested. We know Salah just came back from an injury. Still, he needs to be taken care of. And with Liverpool fighting for the title as well, it was a risk to start him maybe, and it didn't pay off for Liverpool, and Atalanta took advantage and managed to score 3 goals without a reply from Liverpool. Liverpool had a 70% of possession, while Atalanta had 30% of possession, but Atalanta had many shots on target, 7 in response to Liverpool's 5 shots on target only. As I said earlier, Liverpool are facing Palace on Sunday at Anfield, as they are looking to win the Premier League title as well. But as far as Europa League are concerned, they now need 4 goals in Italy. Most Liverpool fans will be furious and disappointed, and also the manager will be disappointed by the performance of the Liverpool attacking and defensive players, also in midfield. Wataru Endo started with McAllister and Curtis Jones, that midfield, but it didn't work out, and it was easy for Atalanta to break in through counter-attacks. So Atalanta was sitting back, and they were happily allowing Liverpool to have the ball, but they were hitting them on the counter-attacks, and they were lethal and clinical in front of goal, and managed to score 3 goals past Liverpool. And now it's a huge task for Liverpool in the return leg next week, or I think it's going to be 18th. So I think Liverpool at the moment, they are in a situation whereby they didn't want to be. I think their game plan will be, or was that they should kill this game in the first leg, so that in the second leg you can have an easy game and maybe play the reserves and give it an easy time for rest for their star players. But in this case, he will need to go all out against Atalanta next week on Thursday and score 4 goals without a reply, which will be difficult, because for them to score 4 goals, it means they need to attack more. And by attacking more, the opposing team might get chances of breaking through counterattacks, and they might also score. So it's going to be a difficult game for Liverpool. But Liverpool is a great team with great manager, with great quality players. Anything is possible, and they are capable of pulling a comeback and qualify for Europa League semi-final. But this football, anything can happen. Also, Atalanta are capable of, they're playing at home advantage, fans on their favor, on their side. So it will be difficult for Liverpool, but this football, anything can happen. Let me know if you think Liverpool can still qualify, or do you think they are out of Europa League. Also, Leverkusen made it 42 games unbeaten as they won 2-0 against the English club, that is West Ham United, at home. Liverpool, or rather Leverkusen, won 2-0, and it was a game of disappointment for West Ham in the first minutes as Lucas Paqueta was shown a yellow card. That means he will miss the return leg at the London Stadium. So they'll be missing Paqueta back at home as he received his yellow card, and that means he's suspended for the next game. But Leverkusen, who bossed the game from the start to the end, had 11 shots on target in response to West Ham's 1 shot on target. So it was all about Leverkusen from the start to the end. And West Ham were doing quite well until the 82nd minute, where they slept in that box of them. Leverkusen had a corner, and it was a bit sloppiness between West Ham players, and they were not able to clear the ball correctly, and it landed in Hoffman's leg and slotted past Lukas Fabianski to give Leverkusen a 1-0 lead. Later on, in the 90th minute +1, Victor Boniface scored the second goal, assisted by none other than Hoffman, to give Leverkusen a 2-0 lead and a 2-0 win against West Ham, and an advantage and 1 foot in the semi-final of the Europa League. The game, as I said, Leverkusen had 11 shots on target, and West Ham only managed 1 shot on target. They had 72% of possession in response to West Ham's 28% of possession. This tells you how the game was, and this tells you how the game was one-sided. And Leverkusen bossed it from the first to the last minute. Hats off to manager Xabi Alonso, who is doing a great job at Leverkusen this season, as they've made it 42 games unbeaten in all competitions this season. As you all know, they are leading in the Bundesliga race, as now they are first with 76 points, and second place Bayern Munich have 60 points. So they are 16 points ahead of Bayern Munich, and they only need 3 points, that is 1 game, to win this title for the first time in their club history. So I think Xabi Alonso has managed to do a very good job this season. And looking at the lineup, they did not spend much on their star players. Looking at the star players, Boniface, Wiz, Florian Wiz, the likes of Hoffman, Frimpong, they have been Leverkusen's hurt in this season, and they've played pretty well, and they've showed that in football it's not all about money, it's not about spending, it's all about using what you have correctly. And Xabi Alonso has showed us that it is possible to develop players. It's all about developing players and showing the good tactics and playing the best football ever. So it's hats off Leverkusen, winning 2-0, coming back to England next week on Thursday with a 2-0 lead, and a possible winning the league, because if they win, then their next game or over the weekend, that means they will be coming in at England, or rather in England next week, with in mind that they've already won the league, so they will be fighting for this and giving it all. So all to play for, but in football anything can happen. So that's what I'm saying, all to play for, yet anything can happen. West Ham can come back 3-2, but it can also get worse for West Ham. But let's see what will happen on Thursday. At the moment, it's Leverkusen's right foot is in the semi-final of Europa League. Another shocking result is AC Milan have lost against Roma. And as I said in my last video, I was doing the review between AS Roma and and as Milan, as Roma were unbeaten against Roma in the last 5 meetings. But this was not the case, as Roma beat or won 1-0 against AC Milan at home. It was scored by Mancini in the 17th minute, and Dybala, who has been outstanding for West Ham this season, got an assist. AC Milan paused the game, but they were not able to capitalize, as they had 53% of possession in response to Roma's 47. They had 5 shots on target in response to Roma's 3 shots on target. But Roma are heading home with a 1-0 lead and 1 foot in the semi-final, as they are meeting again next week on Thursday, as they look to, they are looking for back-to-back finals in Europe, as last season they finished as a runners-up in the Europa League, as well as they were defeated by Sevilla. In this season, they're also in quarterfinals of the Europa League. It's a quite good run for them, and I think through their new manager, they're doing a very good job. They've been as spectacular as since the sacking of Jose Mourinho. They've been doing great, and I think they deserve the win. As Milan were a bit sloppy, they were not clinical in front of goal, and they missed chances, and it was costful at the end of the game, as Roma ran out as winners and heading home as winners and having a 1 foot in semi-finals, an advantage for them. As they're looking to qualify for the Champions League, this might be the way to qualify. If they win the Europa League, it might mean that they are automatically qualified through Europe to the Champions League next season. Benfica also had a good afternoon or a good night, as they won 2-1 against Marseille in the Europa League quarterfinals, and they scored the first goal to Rafa Silva in the 16th minute, and they went on the first half break with a 1-0 lead and a comfortable match. In the second half, they got the second goal in the 52nd minute through Angel Di Maria, who scored a beautiful goal in Benfica's second goal of the match, and they were comfortably leading. They are playing beautiful goal, but Marcel got a consolation goal through Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who scored in the 67th minute, and it means that they are heading back home with a 2-1 defeat. But that's 1 goal, and it's like I don't know, as a motivation, or like they still have a chance in this tie, because they are just 1 goal deficit. Remember, there's no away goals in this. From now in Europe, in Europe football, you have to win it home and away, or maybe win away and draw home, win away. So this is it. But Marcel needs to win by 1 goal if they are to qualify. They need to win at least by 2 goals and qualify, because 1-1 will be Benfica qualifying, 2-1 will be penalties or extra time, then penalties. So it's still in their hands, it's still in Marcel's hands, as now they're playing home with their home fans in the advantage. They still have the chance to qualify, but for Benfica, they need to maintain their momentum and avoid a defeat, and they have qualified. Thanks for watching, guys.